We are back at it because we are basketball addicts. This is the Hangout, of course, your home for talking hoops. Time to talk NCAA action. Plenty of Canucks in the mix. But first off, as an old boxing fan myself, I know styles make fights. So when I look at the Final Four, I'm seeing a couple of contrasting styles. Dan, we'll start with you. Kentucky is a one-year team. They're the one-year team when you think about it. Okay, John Calipari's let people know, put him on notice, if you got a top high school recruit, we want him in a Kentucky uniform. Bo Ryan and the Wisconsin Badgers love to recruit four-year players. Frank Kaminsky balling out, Decker, Trayvon Jackson. Which style do you prefer, Dan? I'll start with you. The style of the four-year, grow into your role, or the one-year, just get a bunch of superstars, throw them out of the court?
I like the Kentucky system of doing it. Wisconsin has had a tradition of really good teams.
With great defense.
Great defense, hardworking players, and they show you what can be achieved over years of chemistry and working together. But Kentucky's got the flash. They have this style of doing it where they do get the best players with the promise of, you come here, I'm John Calipari, I'm going to put your kid in the NBA.
Whether he's a third-round pick or not.
No matter what. You are going to the league, you're going to play there, and you're going to do well. And while you're here, you might just win a championship, get to a Final Four.
So you're going with Kentucky in that matchup?
Oh, yeah.
Coach Kissy.
I'm going with Kentucky.
But you want to sell the four-year concept.
But I like the four-year concept. I'm not going to lie, just because of the value of the education. I think that's too important. There's so many guys that aren't going to be playing at the next level. Hats off, and you know what? Push those that can, for sure. More exciting, though. Kentucky, that style is definitely more exciting, but I got to go with the Badgers.
I'm going to throw a different one at you. You got the UConn Huskies. There's a school that doesn't, we're talking four-year team, one-year team. They don't know what they are because they're coming off of suspension, but a very storied history. Kevin Ollie, an ex-player, steps in and kind of takes that program, and then they're going up against Billy Donovan's group, another four-year program. Which style are you taking here? Although I'm not sure I've bought into the just let Napier do what he wants style of UConn.
I think, obviously, I'm going to go with Florida. I think that, their style and what they've done, they've been very consistent all the way throughout this year. Although UConn, have really rallied under Kevin Ollie, and I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder from the fact that they stuck it out, and a lot of guys jumped ship on them.
Yeah, the 4 years.
And I think that's a lot of motivation for them going forward. And Kevin Ollie is, if you've ever watched him coach, he plays a whole game on the sideline. He's up and down playing defense. And so, I mean, you can appreciate what they're doing, but I'm going to go with Florida on this one. I think their veterans are there.
Can I say one thing about UConn? I was at the first-round game in Buffalo against St. Joe's. They were this close to being eliminated in that first round. They went to overtime, and at that point, you could say Kevin Ollie, whatever, they brought him in because he's an alum. Now, he looks like one of the promising young coaches in the NCAA, and UConn, I don't know how they've done. I cannot believe they're in the Final Four right now.
They rode the Napier wave.
Napier all day. He's just shooting
47% of the offense comes through him, whether it's scoring or passing. And I think if they shut him down.
Are you mad at an athlete like that?
No.
If he's able to do it?
No, definitely not.
That's the knock on some of our other athletes, is that they weren't able to take their team to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To that point. Right?
Yeah, so he showed up definitely. We got to get to Andrew Wiggins. Tony, quickly, were you surprised that he declared? I know I was anticipating it eventually, but some people are like, they wanted to see him and Jabari take that second year. But this is the right decision, yes or no?
Absolutely. I mean, I still believe, and even at the beginning of the year, when they were saying that, he's not performing up to the level of what they think. He had high expectations on him from the get-go, and I still think he's the number one pick. He's still got the highest ceiling of anyone in the draft, and I don't even think you've seen him scratch his potential, whereas Jabari, I think he balled out this year, and he showed you what he's made of. I think he's still going to get better.
Yeah.
But I think Andrew's got a lot more room to get better. So I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, if he could have went from high school, he could have went from high school.
If they would have let him.
I think it was a no-brainer.
All right, so now we got to talk about Jabari Parker then, guys. Does anyone think he's coming back for that second year? Because he has yet to declare and enter his name into the draft. But, I mean, he's 1B.
It's a tough situation. He's at Duke. He's probably in a very nice situation there, and with Coach K. But I think when the chips are down, when he has to make that decision, you're a top 2 or 3 pick in the NBA draft. I think he's got to go, and I think he will.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah?
I
No
agree.
second year?
No.
Hey, you know what?
Why?
We learned from
For
Marcus
what?
Smart anyways. You can't bother to do that, right, Coach?
That's the point. I mean, if you're in that position, I hate to bring this up, the NCAA is making a ton of money because of these athletes. what about them? And
That's
if he
a
has
whole
the
nother show,
That's
too.
a whole nother show. I hate to
That's
bring
a
that
half
up.
hour in itself.
Let's hang out
But listen,
overtime.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but we've already gone overtime because we've spent so much time talking about this. We haven't even gotten to your son yet, so we're going to save that for the next block. We still have more to break down. We got to talk about some of the Canadians. Dwight Powell, Melvin Edgem. The second round is going to be big for these Canadians because these guys will show up too. But we also talk about Tyler Ennis. All that and more when we return on Canada's favorite home for talking hoops, The Hangout.